Welcome back to another class on Evean Hazaer Halacha series. We are in Siman Aleph and Halacha Yud in the Pitchit Teshuva in Ot Yud Daled. Today we want to continue and see the third and fourth reason to why this guy is able to go ahead and get married. Yes, and this will be part 11K. We saw the first two reasons. Today we want to see the reason number 3, reason number 4. Remember, whenever it comes to paskin halachot, the more reasons you give me to why it's allowed, it's easier for us to allow him to go ahead and get remarried. Before we do reason number 3, reason number 4, let's see reason number 1, reason number 2. Reason number 1 was, it's a good amalta. This that the guy said, that he has a wife and a daughter in another place, he said it only because he was embarrassed to say that he was not married, because since he already came to the age of 30. That's reason number 1. That alone could have allowed him to get married. However, like we explained, the more reasons, the better. With reason number 2, you don't need the amalta. Why don't I need the amalta? Since it's only a custom, since the cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom is only a minhag, and by a doubt, since we're dealing with a minhag, and when you have a doubt over there, since we don't know if he's telling us the truth or not, we are lenient. You're allowed to go ahead and be lenient and allow this guy to go ahead and get remarried. Therefore, no need for the amalta. Once the halacha tells you when you're dealing with a custom and it's a doubt, you're allowed to be lenient. There's no reason for him to start giving me excuses. The halacha says mutar, mutar. So that's why the Beit Ephraim said, in this situation, you don't need the amalta. So we see 2 reasons why he's able to go ahead and get married. Reason number 1, it's a good amalta. Reason number 2, you don't need the amalta. Reason number 3 and number 4, we're going to get into now. Yesterday we concluded with the Beit Ephraim where he's going to go ahead and try to defend himself, because the Bash says, and like we saw also, that if it's after 30 days, if a person was established to be a certain way for more than 30 days, then when he makes an amalta, it doesn't help him. So how can you come and tell me over here that by reason number 1, it's a good amalta, by reason number 2, you don't need the amalta? 1 second, excuse me. If it's already after 30 days, how can the amalta be good? What do you mean you don't need the amalta? It doesn't help. It doesn't work. Even if it's a good amalta, even if you tell me you don't need the amalta, but they don't exist now because it's after 30 days. Remember, the guy was living in that city for 12 years. And every time they would ask him, where's your wife? Are you married? He would say, yeah. His wife is and his daughter in another place. So he held on to those words for a long time, which is more than 30 days. So what is the Beit Ephraim coming now and telling me, oh, it's a good amalta. Oh, you don't need an amalta. What do you mean? The amalta does not exist at all over here because it's already after 30 days. So this is what the Beit Ephraim is going to come and try to defend himself in order for you not to come and attack him, in order for you not to come and attack him and say, how can he use these 2 reasons when these 2 reasons are not applicable, since after 30 days then the amalta doesn't even exist. So this is what he's going to say like this. V'gam dino shel habash, and also the law of the bash, be'inin achar lamed yom eina muchlat. In regards to after 30 days, where we say that the amalta doesn't help you, it's not conclusive. It's not necessarily true. Why? The b'teshut Ramah Siman Bet Muvuar, in the response of the Ramah in Siman Bet, it's explained, the af achar lamed yom, even after 30 days, mehani amalta. The amalta does help you. So if the amalta does help me, comes the Beit Ephraim, good, it's a good amalta. And I could even tell you don't even need an amalta because now it's existent, so I can tell you don't need it. So let him go ahead and get married. But when are we going to tell you that the amalta is a good amalta? Heicha shelo huchzak rag mipi atzmo ve'al yidei dibur levad. That as long as that he established that status only through his own mouth, only through mere speech, there were no actions. Like in our case, this guy came and he said, he has a wife in another place with a daughter. Who established that chazaka on him? Who established that status quo on him? He did. As long as it's done through the person themselves, and with a mere speech alone, we're going to tell you the Amalta will help you after 30 days. That is reason number 3. Since he established himself to be married through his own mouth, through himself, and with mere speech, the Amalta will help you after 30 days. Established through him with speech alone, we're going to tell you the Amalta is going to help. So once the Amalta helps over here, therefore I can tell you it's a good Amalta, and then I can even tell you don't even need an Amalta, because the Amalta does exist, but I don't need it, because when you have a suffix, it's mutar, and it's not a problem. So reason number 3 also goes ahead and allows him to go and get married to that woman. Now we have 3 reasons to why this guy is allowed to get remarried. Okay. Continues the Pitchet Teshuva, and he says, he says, look into Siman 19, what I wrote over there in the Pitchet Teshuva and Sivkat and Gimel. And furthermore, Rabotai, listen to this next concept, another very important rule. Halacha itle MIGUI. Okay. Okay, Rabotai, you guys see it from there? Over here, you have a MIGUI. Now, what's a MIGUI? Right over here, number 4. Now, I want to tell you like this. I'm going to give you an example, and then I'll read it for you inside. What's a MIGUI? Reuven comes to Shimon and he says, listen, Shimon, I've lent you $5,000. Shimon tells Reuven, I paid it already to you. Again, no witnesses, nothing about that, right? We're going to say that Shimon's telling the truth. Why? Because if Shimon wanted, this is the MIGUI. If he wanted, he could have said, you never lent me the money. So by him saying, I paid you, trust him. Rabotai, it's a concept in Halacha. MIGUI is because if I could have said this and I didn't, trust me on my original thing that I'm telling you now. For example, like we're going to see right now. Watch this. The Halacha itle MIGUI. Over here you have a MIGUI. Means like because or since. Here. The ibai, because if I wanted, have amar shemeta ishto. The ibai, because if he wanted, have amar shemeta ishto, he would have said that his wife died. Rabotai, listen to this. Why should we trust this guy in this situation where he gives me the amount and he said it because out of embarrassment? Why? Because let me ask you a question. If he wanted, he could have said that his wife Chas v'Shalom lo aleinu died, and you would have believed him. So therefore, believe me now when I'm telling you the truth that the whole reason why I said it was only out of embarrassment, and really, I'm not married, the guy is saying. That's what means MIGUI, because I could have said that and I didn't. Trust me on my original words. Yes, Rabotai, you guys are getting it? Again, these concepts are mamish throughout Shas, Poskim, Rishonim, Achronim, and I'm trying to, in a nutshell, give it to you. Hopefully, you guys are getting it. If not, ask your local Rabbanim or, I don't know. But I'll try to do it one more time. One more time. The hach itlay MIGUI, because over here the guy had a MIGUI. Why? The ibai, because if he wanted to, have amar, he was able to say, Shemet ishto. V'haya ne'eman b'kach, and he would have been believed in that. If he would have said right now, right, if Reuven would have said, this, let's say that woman that he said lived, this imaginary wife that he had was in another place. If he would have come to the rabbi and he would have said, Kvod Rav, Reuven would have said, Sarah died, meaning his wife died. We would have believed him. So the fact that if he was able to say that, now go ahead and believe him on what he's telling us now, that really he doesn't have a wife. And why did he say it? Because out of embarrassment. So that's what MIGUI does. MIGUI says, trust me on my first words that I'm telling you now, because if I wanted, I could have said something else. So let me tell you outside. Let's trust Reuven that he's telling us the truth when it comes to the whole issue of being embarrassed. That's why he said he had a wife, because if he wanted to, he could have said his wife died and he would have been believed. So the fact that he didn't say that, trust him that what he's saying now is the truth. So it comes out over here that you have a fourth reason to allow him to go ahead and get married and he's not lying. That's what MIGUI means. MIGUI literally means, Rabotai, strengthening a person's claim. MIGUI is like because, or even you could say the word since. Since I could have said that, Trust me now that what I'm saying now is emet. Alright, so let's see that one more time. The hach itle migui, because over here he has the migui. Because if he wanted to, he was able to go ahead and say that his wife died, and he would have been believed. So trust him on his first words when he said, the whole reason why he said he had a wife and a daughter in another place is only out of embarrassment. Now you have to go ahead and trust him. Like it's brought down in the response of the Tzemach Tzedek and the Avodah Girshuni, Shehu Atzmo Ne'eman Be'inyan Zeh, that the husband, he himself is believed in this matter when he says that his wife died, we could trust him. He's reliable. So if he's reliable, look, he could have said over here that his wife died, but he didn't. That means he's telling us the truth. That's a migui. Now he says over here, Hashanami, over here also, Shechozerbo, that he goes and he retracts. Ne'eman b'migui, go ahead and trust him because of the migui. Because he could have said that his wife died and he didn't. He's telling us, that means what he's telling us now is the truth. V'yesh lomar degam habash modeh bazeh. And you can say that even the bash would agree to this situation, because since you have over here a migui, in the case of a migui, maybe the bash will tell you that the amalta will help you. But if there is no migui rabotai, then we're going to tell you that amalta doesn't help you. So now we see over here 4 reasons. Reason number 1 to why this guy is able to go ahead and get married to the woman that he fell in love with, right? Fell in love, get it? Anyway. Number 1, it's a good amalta. Number 2, you don't need the amalta. Number 3, it was established through himself and only with mere speech. Number 4, he has a migui. Rabotai, we will conclude this in the following shiur, what the halacha is going to be limma'aseh. Have a great day. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.